Warning: the following episode of the P3 podcast features difficult and mature discussions on topics like mental health, depression, anxiety, and suicide. If you or anyone that you know is suffering from depression, anxiety, or thoughts of suicide, please reach out to a mental health professional or call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 988. From all of us at the P3 podcast, the world is better with you, and we can all help prevent suicide. Again, that is 988. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
The Pittsburgh Piledriver Podcast is...
Oops, I'm breaking the fourth wall.
Breaking Kayfabe.
Because I'm like, oh, okay, we're not. I saw you like, I'm in for the recording, and I was just like, what the fuck? We canceled. Like,
what are we doing it or what?
I was like, I didn't think we were, and I was just like, what? No, I'm taking my time here. Okay, but like,
this is all wrong.
Everything's gone south. Hi everyone, this is Breaking Kayfabe. We were going to record an episode, full episode of the podcast, but we have a man in the field, a man on the road. Ransom on the run. Okay. We got a ransom on the road. Actually, right now, I think, and I'm going to be doing this here a little bit later because as we're recording this, I have tomorrow off from work. So later on, I'm going to be doing a little bit of streaming over on Twitch on twitch.tv/PootTheBard. But right now, Tom is streaming. He's over there. He's playing the new Fatal Frame, which is the Fatal Frame series is awesome if you haven't seen it. And this is, I think, the new one. And he's over there. That's Casual Gaming Dad 84 over on Twitch, Casual Gaming Dad on YouTube and Facebook. And Beef actually is going to be doing a little bit of streaming as well later tonight, apparently. But again, you're probably going to be listening to this in the future unless you're listening to us live right now, which, how?
Hacks. They got the hacks.
They got the hack source. They're just hacking into my computer, and I don't feel ashamed for what you find on there. But
hack source.
But no, Ransom actually is on the run. You don't have to disclose anything you don't want to, but like you're quite literally like traveling.
Yeah, I am coming to you live to tape from the Pittsburgh International Airport.
Wow.
I'm walking through the terminal. It is Terminal A.
You're in the actual PIA, the actual PIA. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in Terminal A, and I'm doing laps around Terminal A.
Doing some walkies in the airport.
Yeah, doing some walkies and some talkies. It's the further down Terminal A I get, the more empty it is, and I can just hear myself echoing in this empty terminal.
That's fucking awesome. Listen, having an airport having an airport to yourself is kind of a flex. I don't know. I feel like it's a flex.
I mean, it's strange.
I can imagine.
I don't do many flyings, so
yeah, you're not the biggest fan of the flyings.
I am not. No, I have a height phobia, and the flyings make me nervous. They give me the anxieties in my tummy.
Well, and that's okay. Well, that's why I'm here. I'm Dr. Calm. I'm here to calm you down.
He's here to calm me down. He's my emotional support animal.
Your emotional support Poot.
My emotional support Poot. You're giving me emotional support that I need before we take off.
You know, it's funny because whenever we impromptu decided to do a little Breaking Kayfabe, I was thinking, I'm like, what the hell are we going to talk about? But and we don't have to like stick on it too long because there's plenty of stuff going on that I could yammer about forever and ever and ever. But like, speaking of emotional support, you of the P3 crew, you and I both have started therapy. Like we both have started therapy, and of course, like I said, you don't have to talk about stuff you don't want to talk about because therapy is very personal and very private, you know.
Sure. Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, just in general, like I thought. Now the reason that I started it was, first of all, I've needed to do it for a while, but like, the thing that really there were a couple of things that made me go, okay, it's time to go. But the big thing that made me go, you know, I can do it. It was the fact that you started going. I'm dead serious. Like when I said that before, the fact that you started going made me go, well, if Ransom could do it, I can do it. No, and that's not meant to be a goof. Like, that's not meant to be a joke.
No.
But like, it really made me go like, wow, he has the stones to go do it. So do I. And
yeah, I mean, I think I had to do it. Like, I had to do it because I was in trouble. Not, from the law, but like I was in some. It wasn't
on the run from the cops.
Court mandate.
You're on the run from the cops, and your first thought is, I gotta go talk to somebody.
Well, no, it wasn't. It wasn't. Court mandated therapy.
Oh, no.
It was very much. I'm in a very ailing emotional state,
right,
with anxiety and depression, and it needed to be done, or else something very bad could have potentially happened.
Oh, dude, yeah.
So like it was. I mean, it was. I was in a dark place. Not threatening to harm anybody.
No.
Other than myself, it didn't get to that point, but like it was pretty darn close. So
I listen,
it needed to be done.
I'm glad that you had the wherewithal to go, I need help.
Yeah.
No, and like it really, I don't know, like I've only been going for about maybe a month and a half. And I'll tell you what, it's weird how quickly just talking to someone who is like qualified to help you sort through what you're feeling. Like, because you go like, now you much like myself, like I feel like we're both lucky. We have really good people in our lives. Like we do.
Yes.
And we have people that are very supportive and people that care about us. Like we're lucky, but like they're there, they support and everything, but they don't have the insight that someone who is trained in human behavior and human thought, and like emotional behavior, it can give you insight. Because like even after my first like 2 sessions, my scope of view went from about 180 degrees and narrowed down in a good way. Like it gave me focus.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I know that's hard to have, especially when you are in a state like yourself was in.
Yeah, like I don't know.
Well, like I said, you don't have to expound. I'm just saying, like, you're doing better. Like, the point is you're doing better, correct?
I am, yeah. A combination, I believe, of the therapy and medicine has helped me to do better.
Awesome.
It was strange, scary, because it came on all of a sudden.
Oh, so it was just all at once.
It kind of grabbed up. It was like a switch, man. Like it was like a switch. It started with.
I lost you. I'm losing you, buddy. I'm losing you. You're roboting on me.
Oh no!
Oh, Ransom, don't robot on me. Uh-oh.
Is that any better?
Yes.
Am I better?
Yeah, you're better.
Better or worse?
You're better.
Better?
You're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whew.
That's staying in the episode. This is raw, baby.
I jumped off of Wi-Fi. I was connected to the Wi-Fi here, so I jumped off of Wi-Fi and back onto the cell network.
Oh, okay. Good deal. But anyway, you were saying, go on.
Yeah, like it came on all of a sudden. Like it started with anxiety. It was like the panic attack started and my anxiety spiked and just went through the roof. It just wouldn't stop. Like it was so strange. It was so weird. It was such an unsettling experience just because nothing like worked up to it. It was just suddenly like click. Everything is terrible. With anxiety, like, I felt like my heart was racing. I felt like I was, I felt like we were talking about technology. Like I was just getting sweaty, just sitting, just thinking about all the things that were giving me anxiety. And walked past either a loud talker or a speaker. I can't really tell.
Oh, it's fine. We couldn't hear him. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. And then shortly after the anxiety started, maybe about a week or so, the depression started. And I can't tell you how much I was not able to accurately empathize with somebody who said they were struggling with depression before I experienced it. And I truly believe now, having gone through it, that I didn't have the ability to appropriately empathize with somebody.
Right.
Whenever they said they were struggling with depression, I thought, oh, they feel sad. They'll be fine. Like, buck up, champ. It'll be all right. But, like, dude, like, the depression thing was real. Like, I was shaking and I was crying uncontrollably for no reason. And it was bad. And I didn't reach the point where I thought, you know what, I'm going to off myself. But I did reach the point where I thought, you know what, if I am driving to work one day and I get T-boned by a bus, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, dude, I 100% understand that thought. Like, I do. and I like that and that's the thing is, like, I gotta tell you something. Like, I'm so incredibly proud of you because you're able to talk about this stuff. And the fact that you're able to, like, admit, you're like, yeah, I didn't get it until it hit me. Like, that because a lot of people don't have the ability to do that. And it shows that in earnest, like, what you're doing is working for you because you're willing to talk about it. Because I know it's hard. It doesn't matter who you are, whether you're a guy or a woman or black, white, Chinese, from the Middle East. It doesn't matter where. Everyone, that feeling doesn't discriminate. You know what I mean?
No, it really doesn't.
No. And so, like, with that, like, now coming out of it, and obviously, being open to the idea of medication to help fix this, along, in conjunction with therapy. Like, how do you feel like you've kind of, how things are evolving for you? I don't want to say the word change, because I feel like change is kind of has a certain connotation to it, but I feel like evolving, how things are evolving for you since you have started this process.
Well, I don't feel like I'm 100% the person I was before. Like, I still get bouts of anxiety,
right,
that will creep up, and I feel that tightening of my stomach and that pit, the pit in the bottom of your stomach, and I have medicine that I take daily that's supposed to help. I don't know what the chemical is in your body, supposed to help regulate that, to help with anxiety. And then there's one that it's lorazepam, I think.
Yeah. Oh, not clozapam.
No, lorazepam.
Lorazepam. Okay, lorazepam. Okay.
Yeah, and they gave me that to take, like, if I feel like a panic attack or like some pretty bad anxiety coming up, that's supposed to kick in quickly. Oh,
so it's something to just, like, help you mitigate right away if it's like something that kind of blindsides you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but yeah, like, I feel a lot better. I feel like it's still there. The anxiety is still there, only it's not as bad as it was before. Most days are really good, but the depression is still there at some level.
Sure.
Like, it's still there, but it's not crippling. Like, it's not,
it's manageable.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And, like, it had gotten, and I'm sure I told you guys in the Discord and everything or not the Discord, the group chat, but, like, it had gotten to the point where, like, Tara was afraid that I was going to do something to harm myself. She took the like my daily carry and my nightstand gun, and she hid them.
Oh, wow.
She hid them because she was afraid it was going to get the best of me. And like I said, I never got to the point where I was actively looking to do harm to myself, but I did get to the point where I was like, you know what? If it happens, I'm not going to be broken up about it. Like, if it's fate, bring it on. Let's have it.
Right. And
that's not a good spot for anybody to be in.
No, no, not at all. Yeah. Like, you shouldn't be okay with, like, I've always told people, I said, I don't, like, the only fear I have is of spiders. I'm only, like, that's it. I'm not afraid of speed, heights, snakes. And I always included death in that. I'm not afraid to die. But there's a difference between not being afraid of death and being okay with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And to anyone who is listening to this, like, I'm just as a little aside. Number one, if you are feeling any of the ways that Ransom or I are talking about, or if you understand what we're talking about, please go find someone. It is okay to talk to someone. It's okay. Like, and if you are kicking around the idea of rage quitting life, that's what I like to call it. I know it's a serious thing masked in a kind of a goof, but it's real.
Sure.
If that's how I cope with things. It's if you ever watched the movie Clue. Have you ever watched Clue?
A long time ago. It's
where Colonel Mustard goes, "How can you make a joke at times like this?" And Miss Scarlet goes, "It's my defense mechanism." No,
I get it. Like, humor's mine. Like, I make jokes when I probably should not be making jokes, but that's how I cope with stuff.
Samesies. Like, that's how it works. And like, dude, first of all, and I'm not trying to be pandering or anything, because I know a lot of this kind of conversation can be pandering, but I am so glad that you are still here. I am. Like, I am so glad.
Oh yeah, I mean, now that the fog is cleared, I'm definitely glad of that as well.
Yeah, well, and anyone who's listening to this and they don't know, first of all, I'm glad that you haven't dealt with like depression or anxiety, or and the two combined is depressive anxiety, which, like, I'm actually sitting here. Hold on. I'm sitting here. And I don't know, you can hear, I got my papers, my business papers.
Important papers.
Did you do the schema test?
No.
You did. So one of the things that my therapist had me do was called a schema test. It's to identify like the things that you like. It's like things that you hold true about yourself. And it's like 100 like true and false questions. And at the end of it, they give you like a bar graph, like and they're numbered 1 through 10. And the ones that are the most dominant are the things that like you hold most true about yourself. And we did this, and a lot of the true and false questions were very scary, but you have to answer them quick. It's like whatever comes to your mind first. And you have to let yourself go. And so like the 10 schemas are unrelenting standard / hypercriticalness, self-sacrifice / subjugation, entitlement / grandiosity, failure, dependence, social isolation, alienation, defectiveness and shame, emotional deprivation, mistrust / abuse, and abandonment / instability. The two highest schemas are the ones that you need to focus on, and my two that I had were unrelenting standard / hypercriticalness and defectiveness / shame. They were both at an 8.
Oh man.
And I was really surprised because I get it, because the hypercriticalness thing, I think that comes from, ever since I was a kid, like you didn't know me back when I was just a tiny little bard boy. But like when I was a kid, I had the mentality of when I went to do anything, if I tried it, never having done it before, like completely new, first time trying something, I had the mentality of if I can't do it right the first time, I will never be able to do it, and I'm a failure.
Oh man.
And that's
yeah.
That stuck with me pretty much until I was about 32. It's something that I always went, if I can't do something first try, first time, I'm bad and I'm a failure.
Oh,
yeah,
geez.
Dude. Yeah. And the problem is
that's a hard thing to live with. Like,
being a musician doesn't help that because you are supposed to be perfect.
Sure.
And the other one, the defectiveness / shame kind of goes hand in hand with that, is telling yourself I'm bad and I'm bad and I'm not good and I don't deserve things. Like it's and a lot of the questions were like, do you believe you're deserving of love? And my answer was false. Without skipping a beat, was false. I'm awful. Like, I believe that. And this is stuff that I've never really kind of like flat out been plain about. Like, I've always been very self-deprecating with jokes and stuff like that. But like, I believe I am bad and I don't deserve good things and I should be ashamed.
Oof.
And I have my family is lovely and supportive and kind and caring. I have a lot of good friends. I don't know where this comes from, but that's the point of going to therapy, is to figure out why. And like, you sound like you're on a really, really good track with that. And now like my schemas are a whole different thing, but like you sound like you are, and I've even seen it in person, like, and heard it whenever I talk to you. And it's so good to see one of my best friends being okay again. Like it's so wonderful. And you know, I'm eternally happy that you're going to, that you've done this and you're committing to it. And the thing is here, you guys might remember, if you went back and looked at our history, you might remember a certain Christmas video that I did on behalf of Ransom. Here's the thing. With that, I did the walking goof. But the thing is, this guy over here, anything he puts his mind to, he commits to and he gets it done. 100%. I've never known you to do anything else. And yeah, was that tongue in cheek? And maybe at the time, was it tasteful? Not necessarily, but like, but the thing is, you decided, I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to walk. I like cardio. I'm going to do cardio. I'm going to walk. What's the furthest you walked in one day?
Sorry, I had myself muted. It was 20 some miles. I don't remember the exact, but it was, when I calculated it out, it was pretty damn well the distance between my house and Beef's house. Which is like legit, like
24 miles. Like,
yeah, something along that line, yeah.
That's one day. Myself, I don't think I've walked 24 miles in 10 years. Like, fuck. Like, you know, but that's the thing, is that, you know, that's one thing I've always admired about you, is that when you put your mind to something, there ain't no stop until it's done. Like,
sometimes that's true.
I'm sure. Yeah, I don't see everything.
Like, sometimes it's true. Like I feel like I fail at a decent amount of things and then just go like, all right, I've had enough.
Yeah, but it's always it's always pragmatic though. You don't just give, like, for me, like I said, whenever I would do that when I was a kid, and like I said, even up till my early 30s, it was, if I couldn't do something right the first time, doesn't matter how many times I do it, how much I practice, how much I work, I will never do it, and I'm a failure.
Yeah.
That attitude neutered me for so long. Long. And
it will.
The beginning of fixing that was when I was in college. My jazz instructor, Eddie Severn, he looked at me and he told me, fail is an acronym. And I went, what do you mean? He goes, fail stands for first attempt in learning. That whacked me across the face. I was like, holy fuck. And then it dawned on me, you don't learn from success. You learn from failure. If you succeeded at everything all the time, what would you learn?
Yeah.
Fuck.
No, nothing.
Not a fucking thing. You wouldn't learn anything. It's the principle of a kid touching a hot stove. You learn the lesson. It sucks, but you learn the lesson. You know what I mean?
But you learn.
Yeah. But I now we've been, talking about some pretty heavy stuff during this Breaking Kayfabe, and it kind of came out of nowhere. And I didn't mean to come in here and be all heavy and stuff. But like,
sometimes you got to talk about real stuff.
Yeah, man. Well, no. And that's the thing is that like, we're people. Like, I know for me, the past year, like the thing where it was like, I was surprised that self-isolation wasn't higher, because the past year I have been basically persona non grata. I have, like, to like friends, family, everyone. And I can't, it's easy to blame a person or a situation, but I never have put blame on anyone else, because I am the master of my destiny. You know what I mean? I wake up in the morning and decide how I'm going to feel. Like, that's not on anyone else. That's on me. Yeah. So, and some days maybe it's not that simple, but like the past year, and it's been effectively, by the way, it's been a little over a year since I moved into the Pootatorium.
Wow, I didn't realize it had been that long.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man. I've been in my Pootatorium for a little over a year. Wow. Which, by the fucking way, my fucking drop ceiling panels still haven't been fixed.
Oh
yeah,
no.
that whole fucking mess. So we're gonna have a talk with my landlord.
Yeah, you're gonna have that conversation, that tough conversation.
Oh no, I'm gonna tell him, be like, listen, until you fix shit, I'm gonna pay you $150 less in rent. That's my deal.
Kirks.
If he kicks me out, that's cool. Fine. Like, I'll be like, cool. So you're kicking me out because this wasn't fixed. Neat.
Yeah, because I'm living in a swamp, and that's not cool.
Right. But but digressing. Like for me, the past year was rough because I was putting my time, effort, and energy into a human being that did not necessarily deserve it. And I had everyone around me warning it, including this guy I'm talking to right now. And I didn't listen. And then after everything went south with that, and a lot of things were said to me that were the meanest things anyone's ever said to me in my life. Did I ever show you what was said to me?
No.
I'm part of my therapy was deleting those. I haven't yet, because that was just assigned to me. But I'm gonna send you those. I want you to fucking read that, because it's nuclear, buddy. It almost was like so bad. Have you ever had someone say something so mean to you that you laugh?
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's so absurd that you laugh.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
It's just so out of touch. It's so out of touch that you're like,
yeah.
Okay. I don't know where you're coming up with this from, but like, all right. Yeah. And you just giggle. You're like, okay.
Exactly. That was it. And like the next day I woke up with a big smile on my face because I knew I did the right thing.
Yeah.
It only took a year, but I did the right thing. With that, what I did off of that though, because some things did hit the mark with me. Mm-hmm. I am between my job, which is very social and very stressful. Just and the bands that I'm in and all the other stuff. Whenever I had free time, I just wanted to be left alone.
Because I mean, you're almost getting people overload because your band is it's always like fan facing. Your job is customer facing. Every day you almost get like that. that sensory overload with people, and you just kind of need some silence and some quiet.
Well, and I did not think I had that limit. I did not think I had that limit.
Well, you're a very social person, so
Yeah.
it can be easy to feel like you don't have that limit because you enjoy the social aspects of life, but there's a difference in enjoying the social aspects of life when it's on your terms, and when you're forced to do it, like a job or like in your band, you're forced to do it.
Dude, like that's the thing. There's like having an empty social battery I never understood until my current job. Now, don't mistake me, I don't hate my job. It's just when I'm done, I'm done. Like,
sure.
I wanna watch Netflix, I wanna play guitar, I wanna sit in a room and read a book. Like, I wanna just relax.
Yep.
And man, that's
because it's a lot. It's a lot.
It is a lot. But it's one of those things, man, that the thing that makes me feel good, and this is something that I kind of had the epiphany with, and I don't know if you'll agree, is it's kind of nice to have these feelings and situations and sometimes issues because it makes me realize I'm not done.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm still going. I'm still learning. I'm still changing.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, we had, and I don't know if you had this in high school. When I was in high school, back in the dark times, I remember when
back in the dark times,
back in the dark ages before cell phones. And Facebook. I remember when Facebook was only for college students. That's a whole nother fucking conversation. But like,
right? Oh, so
right?
old.
Right? Did you just feel another gray hair pop into your pubes?
No, I've got so many gray hairs. I don't want to talk about it. I'm rapidly aging these days.
Same. Like, but like, I thought about it, and back in 9th grade, our guidance counselor, I remember early in 9th grade, he looked at us and went, "You have 4 years to decide what you're going to do with the rest of your life."
Shut up. Shut that guy up.
We didn't know any better.
Yeah.
We didn't know any better because like and the mentality was at the time from him, and the vibe that we got was, you have 4 years to decide what you're going to do with the rest of your life, which was high school, not even college. It was high school.
Oh.
And the mentality was put in our head that if you went to a technical school, you were subhuman. Yeah.
And looking back on it, I wish I would have. Well, I can't say that because I met Beef and Tara and you.
Yeah.
All through college. So I can't go back and say I wish I had done it differently, but like, oh man, if things are the same when my children are old enough, I'm going to encourage them, learn a trade.
Yeah.
Like, learn a trade, because I wish I would have taken up something like carpentry or an electrician or a plumber. Like, I wish I would have learned a trade, because man, the jobs out there for people in trades, they're everywhere. Like, they're everywhere. And
dude,
you just keep learning and you just keep growing, and it's...
Dude, in my band, like my primary band, Hellbent, so it's funny because like people come see us and they see me put on the makeup, and like when I do contacts, like they'll see the contacts and all the goofy stuff. But it's funny because all of us, like myself and the other guitar player work at the bank. Our singer is an accountant. Our bass player works at a correctional facility, and our drummer is a welder. And he's
a welder.
He's 24, And he busts his fucking ass, but he makes more money than God. It's ridiculous. Like, he has a house, nice truck, doesn't really worry. Now, like I said, though, he busts his ass. Like, it's not easy work, but he don't have to worry. And like, I went to college. I got a 4-year degree. Granted, it was in music performance, but I got a 4-year degree. And I worked at a bank. You know? Like, learning a trade, even just like in your day-to-day life, like learning a trade is good because then in your household, you can take care of things. You're muted, I think.
Yeah, I'm taking a potty break.
Taking a piss break. Live from the Pittsburgh International Pisser. Oh, it's Breaking Kayfabe. But like, the point is, there is zero like shame in any kind of knowledge is power. But like, yes. How dare, yes. Back in the day, in retrospect, how dare they tell us that being a carpenter, an auto mechanic, a welder, anything like that was less.
Dear Lord, I wish I would have learned how to work on cars.
Right?
Like, not only could I have done that as a career, but I could have saved myself so much money by actually learning how to do some of this stuff on my own.
Right?
Instead of having to take my car somewhere every time something needs to get done. Like, oh man.
What's the most knowledge you have about how to repair a car or do maintenance on a car? What's the most knowledge you have?
Fucking nothing.
Nothing?
I could change a tire and I could change my oil, but like, something goes wrong under the hood. Does the washer fluid need filled? Because that's where my skill set stops.
Oh.
Like, I don't know squat, man. I didn't take any classes, you know, nothing of that nature.
Right.
And looking back, I would have done that. Like, I wish I would have been a part of some of those programs, because like, learning a trade and learning a craft like that is, man, that's the way to go.
I just had a skip in the recording, but it's okay. I'll fix it in post. Anyway, but no, I agree, dude. Like, well, growing up, I know how to change the oil in a car. I know how to change spark plugs. I know, you know, how to check fluids and all that stuff. I know how to change a tire and brakes. I know how to change brakes. But like, no, that's it. Do that. Dude, it honestly, it's one of those things that like, if you did it, it just takes time. Like, yeah. It's time. If you just slow down, take your time, like, it's logical. You look at the like, it's reverse engineering. If you can disassemble it, you can put it back together.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you have that logic, but for me, I'm one of those people that if I can take it apart, I can put it back together.
No, I'm one of those people where I can take it apart and then I can call somebody to help me put it back together because I don't know what I'm doing.
I guess it's like for me, I always looked at it as reverse engineering. Like, yeah. it literally is like, oh, I do these steps to take it apart, and as long as I do those steps in reverse, I'm good.
Yeah, I need to take pictures. Like, if I took pictures of each step of me taking something apart, I could follow those pictorial instructions to put them back together. But like, doing it from memory, not a shot.
Yeah, but see, that's the misnomer in the education. You're acting like I don't take pictures. Dude, every time that I do repair work on guitars, that's the trade I wish I would have done years ago. I love guitars, obviously. I don't know if I've talked about it on other Breaking Kayfabes. I love guitars. While everyone else in high school was running around chasing girls, smoking weed, and drinking, I was reading the differences between a 1958 and a 1959 Les Paul. Like,
hear that beef? You hear that beef?
What?
I said, you hear that beef?
Yeah.
Running around, drinking, smoking, chasing tails.
Chasing tail.
See, beef? You should have learned how to do something.
I'm debating whether or not to call this episode Real Talk or You Listening, Beef?
Yeah, you hear this, beef? You listening?
But, well, no, like, I mean, No, like Beef and that friend group were different with that. Like they really were. Like that. I'm not talking about them.
The truck stop. That's what they were doing.
We held court, man. It was like every single night that we were up there. It was every single night that we were up there. It was like Plato's Symposium, except dumber. Like that's what it was.
Oh,
like,
oh dear.
I loved it. I wouldn't trade those days for the fucking world, man. Sitting around smoking cigarettes, drinking coffee, and talking about whatever. Those are the best of times, buddy. But like, I wish I would have spent time with the nuts and bolts of a guitar more so, because I've been doing repairs and building for about 5 years now, and everything is self-taught. And it was literally because I love these, but every time that one breaks or there's an issue, I have to go to someone. I don't want to pay someone else to do it. I want to fix it. And so I started doing it. And on one hand, it demystified a lot of like, you know, what I'm dealing with. Because at the end of the day, guitar is wood, wire, and hope. That's pretty much what it is.
That's wood, wire, and hope.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like every single guitar is like on the edge of being a failure at any point.
Oh, jeez.
Well, no, I mean, you know, like it doesn't matter the price. Like guitars are just like, it's like you build it and you go, oh shit, it works. Neat. Like,
right. Yeah.
But like, it's really cool to like learn all the little idiosyncrasies, but I wish I would have done it sooner. Like, I wish I would have gone to school and gotten that piece of paper that says, you're a luthier. Like, you know, you're not just a guy who can fix guitars. You're a guy you have an official name. Like, I love that work, man. And there were, before I got my job at the bank, like, I was really kicking around applying for entry-level positions at, like, a couple guitar companies where I would have had to move out of state if I would have gotten the job. But,
oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, like
I didn't know you had applied for those.
PRS in Maryland. Where else? Well, in-state, Martin Guitars here in Pennsylvania, up in Bethlehem there. Schecter out in California. And Ernie Ball Music Man out in California. But that's the thing. It literally would have meant going coast to coast. You know what I mean?
Cow.
And
Right.
that's the thing. At that point, you couldn't call it the Pittsburgh Piledriver Podcast anymore. It's Pittsburgh Piledriver Podcast. Yeah, brah. Like,
yeah, bro. Oh, jeez.
like, but like,
YB.
if you could drop, right now, if you could go for any trade, what would you do?
Oh, good Lord. Well, I guess that depends. That depends on if I was going to go for a trade for career or a trade for passion.
We'll say
If I was going to go,
we'll say ideal world, both of those are crossed. So it's something you're passionate about, but you will be able to make a living at.
an armorer.
Armorer.
Yeah, and it's, not just because, oh, Ransom likes the boom booms and I mean, I do, but like taking them apart and learning how they work and seeing the insides of them is interesting to me.
Right.
Like that's, of course, if you're not a gun person, one of the first things you're supposed to do after you buy a new gun is take it apart and clean it, because it's not lubed up. It has oils and greases in it to keep it settled without,
while
without
it's waiting to be purchased
for a long period of time. Yes.
Yeah.
So you have to clean all clean all that stuff out. So you have to take it apart and clean it anyway, but you only do what they call like a field strip. Like it's a real basic taking apart
right
of the firearm to clean it and lube it and then put it back together. You're good to go. I started after a while, actually getting into the innards of the manual and really taking things apart. And that's definitely something I would do. I would learn Like I would learn to be an armor. I would learn how to replace these parts. I'd learn how to build, like build a rifle or a pistol from scratch, just using the components. That's something that I would do. If I could learn how to do that and make money doing that, I would absolutely do it, because that's one of the big struggles that I've had career-wise, is that I get a job doing things because it gives me a paycheck, and we need that paycheck to pay bills. I have never had a job that I've had passion for. And I really think, like, man, if I could couple passion with income, boom. Like I haven't made at that point. Like I don't mind getting up and going to work anymore because I have passion for what I'm doing. And there are people out there that do have that. And man, good for them. Like I'm happy for those people that have that, because having experienced work with no passion is crummy.
Yeah,
because
it is.
You spend so much time of your life doing it.
Yeah, it is.
Like when you're an adult, you spend more of your time working than you do at home with your family.
Yep.
Awake time. Between driving to work, being there at work, driving home from work, you're spending more of your awake time with work than you are with family or friends or hobbies. And I think probably there are more people than not that have jobs because they make good pay, they have good benefits, but the job isn't really anything they're passionate about. But they need the work, and the pay is good, and the vacations are good, and the health benefits good, so they stay.
Dude, and listen, you're talking to a guy who left a job of 10 years. I was in like, I know we've talked about, like, I was in radio and everything like that, and I stumbled into that, man, just because I'm a talker. Like, I'm a talker, and I'm a really good interviewer. Like, my first radio interview, like, for my first radio job, which I got because reasons. I didn't go looking for it. I got a phone call from my first broadcast company, and they were like, hey, we got your application. We got a hold of your application. Still to this day, don't know how they did. Still
really?
No. And that's the fucked up part. So, like, real quick, I'm gonna speed through this. So I was working in Lock Haven at a music store. I did that for a year and a half, and I eventually left because reasons. I won't get into it because I still hold that place in a high regard, but we had some disagreements. And the people that were there, I still hold them in very high regard. But we had some disagreements. It's all professional, professional versus personal. And I left, and I moved back to my hometown of where we love to make fun of so much, which is Clearfield. And I tried to find work, could not find work, nowhere. I applied everywhere in this town except for the bar that I went to on a regular basis, because you don't shit where you eat. So
nope.
And so I was like, that was my happy place at the time, and I didn't want to, work there because that's where I went to relax. And one day, after about a month of not being able to find work, I got a phone call from a broadcast company that had a very small classic country radio station, and they were like, we got a hold of your application, and I still don't know how, because well, I'll get to that. But I went in there to the interview, and they said, do you know anything about FCC law? Nope. Have you ever hosted a radio station aside from a college radio station? Nope. Do you know how to run a audio mixing board? I know enough to be dangerous, but mostly for live sound, not for recording. And they were like, do you know anything about the recording programs we use? Blah, blah, blah. And I said, nope. And they said, why should we hire you? And I went, because I'm teachable. I will show up for work, and you tell me what to do, and I'll do it without question. And they went,
nice.
They went, you're hired. And I went, are you kidding me? Those were the words out of my mouth. I went, are you joking? And they went, no, we're not. We're not joking. And I went, cool. And that was my first radio job. I was filling in for a legacy DJ who had a heart attack. So my job, I knew my job was temporary, but it was still, it was about 10 months.
It was a job though, right? You know?
Yeah. And it paid me about $280 every 2 weeks. And I drove half an hour to work every day. Yeah, it was rough. But I got laid off from there. I was out of work for about a month and a half. And then, I also learned what a barley wine was that day, the day I got laid off from that radio job.
Oh, no.
Do you know what a barley wine is?
No.
So
I'm assuming it's very strong.
So barley wine is basically beer that's over a certain percentage of alcohol. Usually it's a stout. So like I left and I was like, cool, I got laid off. This was out of nowhere. And I was like, neat. Okay. So on my way home, I stoped and I got 2 4-packs, so 8 altogether, of Weyerbacher Blithering Idiot. Okay?
Oh.
It's called Blithering Idiot for a reason.
Is that what it turns you into?
Oh my God. I had no idea. And at the time, I was a seasoned alcoholic. And now using that term jokingly, I was a seasoned drinker at that point. So I got home. No one was home. I was living with my family at the time. And I drink quick, as Ransom can attest. I drink very quick.
Yes.
Not because I want to get hammered. I just drink like any water. It doesn't matter what. I drink it quick. And so I'm sitting playing Fallout New Vegas.
Yes.
And I'm drinking these barley wines. And in about an hour and 15 minutes, I had 4 of them. And they were, at the time, they were around like 13.2%, like wine. I drank 4 of them in about an hour and 15 minutes on a relatively empty stomach.
Oh, that's not good.
And so I'm sitting in the chair, I'm playing Fallout, and I went, I reached down to get another one. I was like, I'm done with these. I'm going to go get the other 4. I stood up and I fell down.
Whoopsie daisy.
I stood up out of the chair and I literally went down. And I'm laying on the ground and I have the spins. And
the spins are the worst.
And I'm
spins are the worst.
And I'm like a baby turtle on his back. Like just hands and his feet in the air, just like, where? And I got on my stomach and I reached over and I grabbed a bottle and I looked. And I saw the ABV, and it was like literally 13.2% or something like that. And I went,
nope.
I went, oh no.
Mistakes were made.
So I left the Xbox on. I got up, threw away the bottles, and went into my room and passed out for about 8 hours.
Oh,
I had never had an experience with like anything that high ABV before, man. Like it hit me hard. But anyway,
yeah.
So after that job, I got a phone call from the radio station I worked at for 10 years, which was WOKW in Clearfield. And when I interviewed, they said, "How long do you want to be here?" And I was like, 6 months max. I want to move to Pittsburgh. 10 years then all of a sudden went by.
Yep.
But like
in the blink of an eye, what happened?
But like the other thing too that I think with this big long dumb rambling story that I had was that if you don't have any experience doing something, that doesn't matter to an extent. Like Beef can't go
if you're trainable, that's the thing.
Beef can't go be a brain surgeon right now.
I absolutely could.
No, you fucking couldn't.
Oh dear.
I don't want to hear it.
Capable.
Also, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, the Herald, please, if you would.
I am coming to you live from the Pittsburgh International Airport, and this is Beef's Legend coming to you live from the Beef Cave.
Accurate. This is all true.
We've
what's
been
up,
we've been. How long have you been in chat?
A couple minutes.
Oh, okay. But because had I known that you were in chat, I would have introduced you, man. I'm sorry. I have the alerts on Discord shut off, and I have my phone on silent. Just for, audio purposes.
I got you. No worries.
Yeah, man. How you doing? So, Beef, you said something earlier today that made me very happy. So, I had no idea you were streaming, dude.
Yeah, apparently no one else does.
I had no idea.
I'm dipping my toe in it.
Nice. Are you on Twitch?
Man. I am.
Oh, what is it? Beef the Legend 13?
It is.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Thanks for the plug.
Yeah, man. Dude, you know what? I got you into Binding of Isaac.
You did.
You know what we should do?
What should we do, Poot?
Oh, there's co-op in Binding of Isaac, right?
I did not.
There is fucking co-op in Binding of Isaac, baby.
That's interesting.
We should fucking co-stream Binding of Isaac.
I would be interested in doing that at some point, for sure.
We should
I could
absolutely
imagine
do
a
that.
co-stream with you two. That would be must-watch television.
I'm telling you, man. Like,
especially
nobody
with
was
Isaac.
watching. Nobody was watching tonight, and I'm like, this is gold. Everybody's missing out on gold. So, if you missed my
Morty,
stream,
you're missing out on gold.
If you missed my stream, you missed out on gold until like the last 5 minutes, and I just got salted. Was done.
What were you playing?
Sea of Thieves, which was a mistake because the update was today.
Oh.
And I should have known that everybody was going to be on today, all the fucking Doom lurkers and such. So.
Oh yeah.
I kind of like mentally prepared myself for it. It happened once, and I'm like, whatever. Like no.
I told you after that nice beer bathroom and beyond break that we'd be back with Beef the Legend.
Hi everybody.
Hi, he's back again. Oh, you know what the weird thing is? This has turned out to be a really good Breaking Kayfabe. Like, this has been a super cool Breaking Kayfabe. Ransom and I talked about, like, just to catch Beef up on things, Ransom and I talked about, the feels and therapy stuff. And, life. That was good.
Which is important. Yeah.
No, dude, yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's like I haven't gotten to like pick Ransom's brain about that kind of stuff. But so Beef, what made you decide to start streaming?
It has nothing to do with like wanting followers or people watching or like money. I figure, hey, I play video games, and I tend to be pretty funny sometimes. So like
once in a while.
Not? Hurtful.
No, that was good. No, that was meant to be like you're funny all the time. So yeah, once in a while. That's like saying Kirk Hammett's a good guitar player. Once in a while. Well, anyway.
I'm like if I can merge the two, great. And then, hopefully be able to send some love over to other people that stream. You, Tom, Haas, Rage. My buddy Ben's from work. So there are, I'm still finding my ground, still finding my people. I'm trying not to take from established friends.
Well,
so on nights whenever Rage and Haas stream, I won't stream, or if I know Tom's streaming, I won't stream because I don't want to snipe anybody's viewers. Well,
it's not about sniping viewers. It's like creating a community of people that support each other. And the problem is there's a lot of people that's like, the thing is, if you go, well, I'm not going to stream on the nights where my friends are streaming, then between myself, Tom, Rage, and Haas, you're going to stream once a week.
That's fair.
Like that. Now me, I've fallen kind of off a little bit just because I've been tired. But like I would like to make, streaming more of a thing. The thing that's holding me back is not my internet anymore. It's my PC. My PC is holding me back, and the problem is, man, I'll tell you what, I was doing really well putting money away from gigs for saving up for a PC, To borrow a meme from the Game Grumps, whew, oh man, whew, like putting away. Man, do you miss the days when you were a kid and like saving money? If you put $20 away, you felt like a billionaire.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. Fucking working part-time at the gas station, like walking out with a check of like $250. I was like, this will carry me for a month.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Oh, 100%. And also, I just officially followed Beef the Legend 13 on Twitch. You should do the same.
Thanks for the plug.
Yeah,
but yeah, like so like right now I'm very happy, and I wouldn't trade that for the world. I'm very consistently across the board have really good days. Every so often I get one that sneaks in. I had a bad day on Monday, but like every so often I have one that sneaks in, and then like I get caught off guard.
How so?
But like,
show your work.
Just like you wake up and you're like, I don't want to do this today.
Oh yeah.
And like everything just kind of catches you the wrong way. You're moody. You're like high strung. You got the anxiety working overtime, and you just every so often you catch one of them. But for the most part, I'm very thrilled with where I'm at. So that being said, like I would never like wish this time of my life away.
Right.
However, I definitely like reminisce about the days of yore. Growing up as like a kid, being a teenager and hanging out with everybody, being a 20-something hanging out with everybody, being in college and like having the weight of zero responsibility at all.
And the thing is, you don't appreciate it at the time that you have arguably no responsibility.
Yeah.
Like you don't.
Yeah.
You think the weight of the world is on your shoulders, and then 10 years later you go, oh, fuck, I had nothing to do.
I mean...
not nothing to do, but like arguably the consequences for not being diligent were negligible.
I don't know, man. Like, I feel like growing up was its own kind of like bag of cats.
Oh, for sure.
You had, fucking social politics at school. You had, of course, grades, women, girls, whatever. And it's like, at this point, it seems like minutia. But like during that time, it's all that we could like focus on and be like,
it was everything,
hey,
man.
Right. Like, hey, I need a date, or hey, I need to ace this test, or hey, I don't want to get beaten up today. Like,
well.
Like, and like, it's just weird. It's just weird how things shift. I think that humans are just like, unless you're in like the 1% that really doesn't have to worry about anything. Human, I think, are by nature like those nervous dogs that just sit around and shake all day.
Oh, yeah, like little rat dogs.
Yeah, and like they only stop shaking when they're dead. Like that's our lot in life, because now it's like, yeah, like we're stressed out about things now, and we're like, oh man, just wait till retirement, and then it's gonna be like, hey, limited income. Like, hey, people preying on the elderly, it's always going to be something until you're in the grave. So, like...
Yeah.
But, I mean, to answer your question, yes, I definitely do reminisce about, those nights, hanging out at the truck stop where we had nothing to do but, like, stay out till fucking 3:30 in the morning and have existential conversations about the word fucking what,
Dude, fucking Ransom and I talked about that. I told him, he mentioned, he was like, yeah, sitting at the truck stop and blah, blah, blah. And I said, dude, we didn't sit at the truck stop. It was like Plato's Symposium. It
Absolutely.
was. And that's the thing is that, like, anyone from outside our area would go, like, you fucking dopey rednecks. Like, you sitting at a truck stop talking. Dude, sitting at a round table, literally a round table, drinking coffee and Mountain Dew and smoking cigarettes and just pontificating upon everything.
Yeah, man.
They were the best of fucking times, buddy. Not that I'm sitting here going, oh, I want that, like, you know, but like, I want that now, or like, oh, that should be today. No, it shouldn't be. It was a snapshot in history.
Absolutely. And to like say that any, you know, for me anyway, to say that like, you know, oh man, like my 20 somethings like with the dudes were the best, or like, you know, my college with Ransom was the best, or, you know, now living with Brittany is the best. It's all subjective, man, because like I honestly think the more I think about it, the more I think that I was like different people during those times. Not like excessively, but like, you know, you grow as a person, you change as a person, and so like you know, it's apples and oranges. It really is.
Well, no, it is. And the other thing that I mentioned to Ransom, it's funny that you keep bringing this stuff up, because I think it really shows the connection between all of us, is that you're bringing this stuff up, and we kind of touched on this. And it was something I said. It was something I said earlier. Different conversation, but it was the idea that, like, I don't like the word change. I like evolve, because change has a certain connotation to it. Like,
sure does.
I feel like evolve is better, because, like, you know, if like the dudes that we were talking about who got together at the truck stop back in the day, if we did that today, we'd have like a brief window of like nostalgia, but then all of a sudden it would feel weird. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I don't mean weird like bad weird. It would just be like, I think it would be a good thing to like do, but like I feel like those discussions and where we are now deserve a different forum.
Right, exactly, and that was going to be my next point. I think we found a different medium, like,
yes.
You know, as opposed to sitting around the truck stop. Now we just play video games and, you know, chat with one another through the course of video games, and
yeah,
you know, that's cool. Yeah, like you said, man, evolve. Like, you know, your fucking Geodude doesn't change into a golem; he fucking evolves into a golem. Like,
right.
Evolve is great, man. I couldn't agree more. But like even still, like I'm saying, you know, it's apples and oranges, man. Like, you know, you can't. It's hard to compare. It's
right.
It's hard to compare, because yeah, it's just different.
And the further along that you go, the more you kind of romanticize those times.
Absolutely,
like
absolutely.
And that's the thing, man. As you age, you look at your past through rose-colored glasses. Like, you really do.
You forget the tough times, and you're just like, oh man. And that's you know, kind of going back to what I was saying about like high school being tough, is like a lot of people are like, oh man, I wish I could be back in high school with my buddies and drink a beer in my truck, and it's like, yeah, but like there's also a lot of like shit that you're having a blind eye to.
Oh yeah.
And that you're not like remembering being a BFD, you know, like, yeah, I mean, like, looking back, none of that shit fucking mattered.
Agreed. Sidebar, happy 316.
It is, in fact, 316.
Have a Steve Weiser.
Have a beer, stun your boss, leave your company at the height of your career, come back riding a four-wheeler and do nothing, leave again, come back 15 years later and have a meaningful match with a young upstart, and be a mystery.
Oh, wow. Fuck, that got real. Fuck you. Apparently, all I heard was, quote, fuck you, Steve Austin, end quote, Beef the Legend 13.
No, not at all. No, I'm just giving an accurate representation of his career. Some important parts.
That's actually true. But like, digressing a little bit, like, dude, it's absolutely true. And like, that's been the thing. And like, Ransom and I touched on a lot of stuff with like how we've been and how him and I are like developing through therapy, and how we're working on going forward. And like for me, the big thing is not, I don't want, again, choosing my words wisely, like not using the word repair, but like trying to prioritize the things that are important to me, and the thing that I've left behind, and the thing that's kind of gone away is like making time to like allow myself the freedom to like, okay, Monday nights, I'm going to game with the dudes. Like, that's what I'm doing. I'm not going to do anything else. I need to do that. And I'm still getting there. Like, I'm still getting to the point where I'm like, okay, that has to be my priority on Mondays. Like, I have to tell people, no, I'm sorry, I'm busy. No, I can't do that. Like, this is what I'm doing. And it's not meant to sound like cross. Like, I need to, like, make time. Because...
And soon you'll have Zach down the hall whose computer can run 7 days to die. So you'll actually be able to play, and he'll be able to watch, and, everybody be happy that way.
No, and that's the thing. Well, that goes back to my computer issue is that, like, dude, I'm like, man, it's one of those things that, like, I finally got good internet to be able to stream and not have dropouts or any kind of problems. And now my computer's just like, yes, now we have internet. Like, it's just fucking old. And I'll tell you what, my buddy Mike was over here this afternoon, and we were bullshitting. And I mentioned about my computer, and I said, my computer's 12 years old, man. He goes, what? And I was like, yeah, my computer's 12 years old. Like, and it's like parted out and pieced out, and he just goes, fuck, man, that's good legs. And I'm like, you're right. Our buddy Matt, who helped me build it, like helped me piece everything out. Knock on wood, this fucking thing has really done a good job.
And the test of time.
Yeah,
sure.
And it's just hitting the wall with like gaming. Like it really is just hitting the wall with like being able to handle like new AAA games. It still blows my mind that 7 Days to Die can't run on my computer. That blows my fucking mind. Because that game is like 12 years old.
So, that... It's probably a mixture of things. Like, at its peak, I'm not getting, the best frame rates. I fall somewhere between, like, 30 and 50 most times. And, like, last night, we did a Horde night, and I was getting, like, single frames, which made everything, like, way worse. And I just, put another fucking 8 gigs of RAM in my computer, so, like, it ain't my computer. It's just a poorly optimized game, and, like, it's a fun game. We're having a blast with it. But, like, it's very clear that it's not a AAA title. That it's a independent game that's, like, been kind of limping along.
Well, no, and you're right, and that's kind of the problem. And that's the other thing that I kind of realized with like gaming with the dudes is like with like 7 Days to Die, the buy-in was not a big deal. Like it was very, very reasonably priced. But the thing for me is like those kind of games, like I get it, but like for me, those games I look at and I go, it's Minecraft with more steps. Like that's how I feel about games like that. And it's one of those things, I would play it. I would absolutely do it because I've watched some of the streams and I've watched some of the stuff and gone, man, that looks like a lot of fun. You know what I mean? So I don't want it to come across. I don't want it to come across that I'm just being snarky and being like, oh, it's Minecraft but zombies. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, the survival genre is like a big thing that's picking up pace. I mean, if we're being honest,
it's been picking up pace for years, man. Like,
agreed. But I mean, if we're being honest, like the survival genre is probably like my wheelhouse. Like that's probably the game that I gravitate to and enjoy the most. Well,
that's like me and roguelites and roguelites.
Right.
Exactly.
So like everybody's got a preference for sure, but yeah, like, and that I think is why I'm a little bit more, lenient because and I mean absolutely. Here's the problem with survival games is that eventually you peak. Eventually you have the best gear, and eventually yeah, things may still be difficult, but like you stop having that like rush of adrenaline.
Yeah, and
And
then it becomes spreadsheeting.
right, and then you have two options: find a new game or start a new file.
Well,
Like that's what you got.
and starting a new file, the problem with that on any kind of survival game is that you know what to do, so now it's just optimizing.
I mean, yes and no, because most RNGs have or most survivals have a pretty good RNG in them. So like, yeah, absolutely, like you know what to do and you know what to look for. But at the end of the day, if you're not getting the luck that you need, at the end of the day, you can fucking look in the same cave every single day, but until you get what you're looking for, man, you're just gonna get fucking knocked out in the dark.
I agree, and like it bums me out whenever my computer is the thing that's limiting me from playing games with the dudes. Like that bums me out because like, and this is something I kind of talked to Ransom about with like my thought process that I'm working on in therapy. So like this is something, and I know you probably know this, but I don't know if you've heard it in these words, and I'm sorry for anyone who's listening to this, and I'm kind of reiterating something I said earlier, but I always had the mentality from when I was a kid. When I was a kid, if I couldn't do something right the first time, no matter what it was, and I've never done it before, if I couldn't do it right and perfect the first time, I'm a failure and I'm bad. That was my thought process up through about the age of 32. Like that's seriously, that's how it always has been. If I couldn't do something, I'm bad and I'm not good and I'm a failure. That's how it is.
I think one of my favorite lines from like movie and TV, as of the last 5 so years, was Thor's mother's line in Endgame when she's like, everybody fails at who they're supposed to be.
Yes. And like I told Ransom, I said there's something that kind of knocked over the first domino with me, and it was something I did hear in that interim, in that time period for me, was my jazz instructor telling me that FAIL is an acronym. It stands for First Attempt in Learning. And that caused...
That's good.
Right? And it made me go, oh, fuck, you don't learn from success, you learn from failure. Like, it's... And I said to Ransom, it's the kid touching a hot stove. Oh, fuck, I shouldn't do that anymore. Like, it literally is that. But my point is, with this, is that, like, what happens, and here's how my brain works, and this is what I'm working on, Beef. I don't know if I've told you this. So my computer won't run 7 Days to Die, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it won't run it to the point where it's playable. Because like, I do that with Overwatch. Yeah, is it frame rate optimized? Fuck no. Like, the first one was. Like, the first one ran great. This one, though, Overwatch 2, not so much. But here's the thought. Like, that I can get away with. Is it optimal? No. Is it a little frustrating sometimes? Sure. But when a game is unplayable, here's how my brain works, Beef. You ready for these gymnastics?
Sure.
Okay. I log on to play 7 Days to Die with the dudes. My computer will not handle it. Because my computer cannot handle it, my computer is bad. Well, I need to upgrade my computer. Well, I can't upgrade my computer because money's tight. Why is money tight? Money is tight because I didn't go to college for something that was profitable and good. Why didn't I go to college for something that was profitable and good and would lead me to a better life? How old am I? I'm 37. Oh, I'm 37. I should absolutely have my shit together. Why don't I have my shit together? Oh my God, what is wrong with me? When am I ever going to succeed? I'm never going to be able to retire. I'm going to live on the street whenever I'm done. I'm a failure. And it happens within 3 seconds. All that. So I go from, oh, fuck, this game won't run on my computer, to I'm a failure and I'm bad in about 3 seconds. That happens. That's how my brain works.
I mean, you absolutely know that that's not just you, right? Like,
no, I know it's not just me, but the problem is I never have been able to, like, communicate that to people, because anyone that I have communicated that to, short of my family, has gone, dude, that's dumb. Why do you think that way? That's not true. But that's putting a Band-Aid on a shotgun wound, buddy.
That response is what's dumb, man. That's how that's how I assume that everybody works, man. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, life is literally a game of chutes and ladders. Like, again, like I'm happy overall, but like sometimes you can't help but catch that chute, and you got to go all the way back to the fucking start. Like, that's just how it goes. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like, a fucking crack in the dam absolutely can lead to a flooded town.
A cataclysmic failure.
Yeah, exactly. Which leads to, you don't, fuck it, I'll do something else tonight, and like, that sucks. Absolutely, but like I know exactly what you're talking about, because I do the same shit, man. Like I'll sit there and like walk backwards in my brain.
Yeah.
And be like, this shit, man. Like, and like I've gotten better about stopping myself, and being like, listen, you need to stop. You're letting the anxiety win,
dude.
Fucking cool it,
dude. And that's what I'm working on in therapy, is to, so like the thing, and this, for anyone again listening, this is a little deeper from what I talked into with Ransom earlier. So like, and if I get the name of the thing wrong, I'm sorry. So like, you have your left brain, right brain, and then in the back, like literally physically in the back of your brain, you have your hippocampus. Mm-hmm. Okay. Your hippocampus is like your lizard brain. So it's the thing that's like fight, flight, or freeze. So like in a dangerous situation, do you fight, do you run away, or do you just freeze and go, ah? Like, it's that, right?
Sure.
The thing is, and the thing I learned about myself is that I have trained over my lifetime, myself, I've trained my brain to go, like, like, I know that, like, when I'm at work and shit is stressful and people are being difficult and, like, we're not gelling as a team that day or whatever, I know that my life is not in danger. And I know that, like, at the end of the day, I'll wake up tomorrow or I'll go home and, like, I'm going to be okay. But my lizard brain does not know that. So how does it respond? Fight, flight, or freeze, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's those three options.
I'd like to think that most of the time it's probably freeze.
No. It's
really?
often,
okay.
It's often flight.
All right.
It's not freeze. It's flight.
That makes sense to me too.
And flight flight can have different forms. So like at work, flight might not mean running away from the front line. It might mean staying and doing your job, but not acknowledging anyone around you. Like just doing your job and not talking to anyone and not
shutting it down.
Being social. Yeah, you shut down. So that's the thing, is flight comes in a lot of forms. So does fight. So does freeze. Freeze is a little more narrow, but like flight can come in a different way. And that's the thing, when I realized that, like, okay, my brain doesn't know, like my lizard brain doesn't know the difference between someone putting a gun to my head or a customer being difficult and having a long line and then having my coworker walk away. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't know the difference. It's like, oh, this is a stressful situation. Bam. Like, I know on a cognitive level, like my front of my brain, my like aware brain, I know that it's like, oh, this sucks, but it's going to be okay. But that part of my brain doesn't. there's a disconnect. And it's a matter of making a connection again. And making those two work together. And that's what I'm working on. But, like, this is the thing with the dudes. And for anybody who doesn't know, like, Jack Lobster over on Twitter, streaming, awesome streamer. Yeah, thank you. Over on Twitch. He, like, him and all the guys that play with him and everything, we've been friends forever. Literally for thousands of years ago. The dudes have been. But, like, what will happen is, like, even on a Monday where I have nothing going on, I'll get home and I will be so fucking stressed out from the day and so full of anxiety and hurting, like physically hurting from being on my feet all day and everything like that, that I'm like, I don't have the energy. Like, or like to like be on stream. Like, I don't have the energy to interact with any more people today. And I run. Instead of going like, man, I get to game and talk with my best friends and relax and crack some jokes and talk about movies and talk about life and look at it as a safe haven. For a long time, I've gone, this is the thing I need to do. I have to be here. And if I'm not here, then I'm bad. And like, it's literally now because I've sat in that world for so long, having to reprogram myself is hard. It's like having to remind myself that I have people that love me. You know what I mean?
I do.
It's weird. And like, I need to look at it as fun and good and relaxing. It's a relaxing thing to go, guys, I'll be there at 7:30. And to be like, fuck yeah, I need to look forward to that instead of like placing it on the list of like, this is the thing I need to do. Like, that's the thing. My brain does, like, if I was as agile as my brain, I'd be the happiest guy in the world. You know what I mean? If my physical body was as agile as my brain, my God.
No, I mean, you know, I absolutely know what you're talking about. Like, sometimes things that shouldn't feel like work do. And, you know, that's no fault of you, no fault of anybody you're hanging out with. It's just like sometimes you hit that wall, man. Like sometimes you're done with people. And I mean, yeah, as someone who talks to people all day, every day, I feel you, man. I absolutely know exactly what you're talking about, and you know, get that way as well. I tend to like flip things. I always like to look and say, you know, what am I really looking forward to? You know, I'm really looking forward to playing some more 7 Days to Die with the guys. I'm really enjoying that game, and I can't wait to play it.
Right.
I'm really looking forward to, you know, minor victories, man. Like watching, you know, the XFL on Saturday night and watching my Battlehawks play. Like and like you have to compartmentalize that stuff, and like have. And this is the big thing that I always tell people with like anxiety and social stuff, is like you have to have like those markers in the distance that you're moving toward.
Right.
And you can never let that be the last marker. For example, right now the big one for me, 2 weeks from now, WrestleMania. Like, dude, I can't wait to have you down here. I can't wait to watch all the crazy fucking cool indie stuff. I can't wait to watch, you know, fucking Ring of Honor. I can't wait to watch Impact. I can't wait to watch fucking WrestleMania.
Dude, I'm so fucking excited. Like, I actually had that epiphany. Like, I had today off, and I have tomorrow off as well.
Nice.
Yeah, right. I took tomorrow off because it's St. Patty's Day.
Yeah, man.
I took tomorrow off because I was like, and everyone goes like, oh, you're going to tie one on. I'm like, fuckers, I got to be in at work on Saturday. Like, I'm not going to tie one on tomorrow. Like, I just wanted the day off. Like, I'm like, it's St. Patrick's Day. I want to chill.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now,
leprechaun movies.
Actually, probably It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. But,
That's fair.
Yeah. But, for me, I looked at my schedule and I went, oh, I have a half day on Thursday. That's fucking cool. And I went, you know what? I'm going to take Thursday off too. It's only 4 hours. I'll take Thursday off. So I'm like, 2 days off. Fuck yeah. I got to work on Saturday, but still, hey, you know, just kind of like taking my time to like relax a little bit and decompress and not put pressure on myself.
Did the plane kick you out, Ransom? What happened?
What? Oh.
Are you...
Ransom?
Oh, nope. He's
gone.
That must have been an accidental.
No, how fucking great would it be if there's Wi-Fi on the plane and he just pops in from like 15,000 feet in the air?
I think he just accidentally jumped in, and that's fine. Goodbye, Ransom. Have a good flight. But yeah. Nope, he's back.
Oh, he's back. Hello? Ransom?
Maybe.
Oh, he...
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
What are you...
I'm coming to you from mid-takeoff.
Yep,
mid-takeoff.
Yep, we are off the ground as we speak.
That's fucking awesome. So are you on Wi-Fi right now, buddy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a P3 from the sky.
From the sky.
That's fucking neat.
From the sky.
That's fucking neat.
Not how I envisioned my evening going, but
but it's better than you could have possibly expected. He's gone.
Welcome back to the... I think he's here.
I think he's here, but I think
he's going to be... Yeah, he's
spotty
be
at best.
Yeah, the plane's going to kick him off because, you know, you're not supposed to have your shit on. Damn it, Ransom.
During takeoff? Damn you.
No,
but
yeah, man.
Digressing,
like
yeah.
And
nonetheless, sure is. I mean, heck, if I...
It's happening. I don't.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Have you ever coughed so hard that you got dizzy? Fuck.
Yeah, man. I've coughed so hard I've thrown up before. That's so good, man.
Oh my god.
That's kind of gross.
Oh, that was hilarious.
What happened?
Give us a constant update on how high in the air you are.
Oh, he won't like that. Don't ask him to do that. That's just mean.
Oh, that's fair. Okay, fair, touche.
We're high enough to be clenched. That's how high we are.
Okay.
We're at clench height.
Well, don't worry. Like I said, you have Dr. Calm here. I'm here for you.
We're at little white pill stage. I've popped a few of those already.
Okay.
Yes, Dr. Ransom's medicine.
Dr. Ransom's hot plasma.
Dr. Ransom's hot plasma.
Are you
podcasting from the flight?
Are you sitting next to anyone, and are they giving you a weird look?
Hello?
Yeah, he kind of cut out. You've been doing that, Poot. Are you?
What, me? Really?
Yeah. Every so often, not like in a terrible bad.
Oh, okay.
Like,
well, I don't know why. My server looks good. Can you guys hear me?
We don't have a full flight. Yeah.
Okay. Good. Yeah, I can hear. We can hear you, but you're quiet.
You said you don't have a full flight, or you do have a full flight?
No, we don't. We don't have a. Hello, can you hear me now? I'm using my airplane voice. No,
Pilot Ransom.
Thank you for flying Ransom Airlines. Rum is on the menu here this evening.
Oh.
No, we don't have a full flight, so it's just me and Micah sitting next to each other.
No, hi, Micah.
What's up, kiddo?
Oh. They
I'm
gone?
just sitting by the window. I'm in the middle. Oh.
For 10,000 feet, it's safe to use all of your approved electronics.
10,000 feet. Hey, good news. Hey, good news. You can turn your electronics back on.
The seatbelt sign is eliminated among the captain's still safe.
Uh-oh.
He'll make an announcement and turn it off. That'll be your
Uh-oh.
At that point, there are 2 laboratories on board, one in the front, one in the back. Due to heightened security measures, you can't stand, form a line, or wait up front. If the forward lab is in use, stay at your seat until it becomes available, or feel free to use the one in the back. As long as the seatbelt sign is on, stay seated with your seatbelt securely
I'm
fastened.
fucking dying.
If you are using your portable electronics, please do so
This
with the
is,
use of the headset or earbuds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we
Absolutely.
can hear it.
Simply call
Yeah,
the right
we,
phone
uh,
now for the
We heard them when they told you to go ahead and turn your electronics back on, which, you know, that, whoops.
We have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Whoops, you
Now
did.
safe to turn on the electronics.
Oh my
What you did.
god. Oh my god, I haven't laughed that hard in so long. Fuck.
I gotta say, though, for a guy who doesn't fly like Ransom, like to be just, you know, fucking on his phone willy-nilly, like, you know, whatever, take up, it doesn't matter. Let's have the electronics on, it's fine.
Oh my god.
I always turn that shit off like during takeoff because I'm like, oh man, I don't want like
Oh,
my
man.
phone to. I don't want my phone to be like, oh well, the engine's not working because of my phone now. So good work, Beef.
Oh, dudes, I needed that so bad. I haven't laughed that hard in so long.
Well,
Good one.
Air Ransom has killed Poot.
It's because you can turn your electronics back on.
Yeah, man. And like
It's just
I've
fuck you, airlines.
I've been on the exact flight that he's on right now, where there's probably like 6 people on the plane. Everybody's like, you know, lounging across 3 seats. Like the flights like
Whew.
that are like so like underbooked are really great.
Oh fuck. Oh, I'm so happy right now. Oh. Okay, I gotta come down from this because I giggled way too hard. Whew.
There was some hilarity there.
Dude, I
Post show.
just like
podcast I've ever been a part of.
the thing is it's for like me as a person. I don't have the fear of flying. So like me leaving my like phone on, Beef leaving his phone on, no big deal. But like Ransom, who is afraid of flying or any kind of variable that could fuck it up, he's the one who just decides to leave his fucking phone on.
Not just leave his phone on, but like be actively broadcasting on a podcast with it. Like that to me is the killer. Like,
Shit,
you know,
it's
he's
so funny.
got the fucking Wi-Fi on, got the network on, got the Bluetooth going. Like, you just fuck it. Throw it all at the wall, see what happens.
Oh my god. Oh jeez.
Shit.
That is, man. I am like, I'm like, oh fuck, is this genuine happiness? Yeah, it is. Oh man. Oh, that's so good. Beef, what were we talking about before that?
Who cares, you know?
Right, who cares? Beef, what were we talking about?
Talking about setting up like those like tent poles in the future, you know, something to look forward to.
Oh
you know,
yeah.
You know, WrestleMania coming up in a couple weeks, and then, you know, after that'll be vacation, and like you gotta have that stuff to get through the mundane. Otherwise, like it just drags, and it's just almost not worth doing. Almost.
No, you're absolutely right though. Like it's very true. Like I realized, you know, like when you said this, I pulled up my calendar and I looked at like when WrestleMania was, and I was like, oh fuck, I took Friday and Monday of that week off. So really, all I got to do is work like effectively a week and a half of work, and then I get a long weekend. Like having those little victories, man. You're absolutely 100% right. Like I am.
Wait, I thought your ass is coming down on Thursday.
I am. I'm coming down Thursday night after work.
I thought you had Thursday off. Well, that's fine.
No, I don't have Thursday off. I'm sorry. That was one of those things where I had to be a little prudent with my PTO.
That's fair.
Like, I had to be a
completely understand
little.
that.
I could ask, well, no, I can't, because then I would have had to work Saturday, and I'm certainly not doing that weekend. I'm going to spend my weekend in a beer bottle watching indie wrestling. That's what I'm doing.
It's fair.
Oh, my God. That is. Oh. I'm sorry. I'm still coming down from that laughing fit, man. Holy shit.
No, yeah.
Whew. That was good.
Now turn on your things. Whoop.
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I
Uh-oh.
said, "Bing bong, you may now turn on your things." Whoops.
The best part was how clear it came through. Like, we are now cruising at 10,000 the feet of 10,000 altitude. You may now turn on your electronic devices. Like, well, that ship sailed.
Oh, my God.
I'm a rebel.
It's just
You're something.
Beef, can we talked about, like, going to the truck stop and everything like that. Can we have a moment to realize Ransom is like minimum 10,000 feet in the air leaving Pennsylvania, and we are talking to him on a podcast? How fucking crazy is that shit?
Yeah, man. Like, shit that, if you told me 20 years ago, I'd laugh in your face.
Oh, yeah. What? Yeah. Like, well, I mean, even like video games, like we talk about, like, we talk about, like, gaming and stuff like that. Like, think about it this way, like, with video games, like, I remember playing my NES and wishing that I could sit on the couch with the controller.
Right. Oh, yeah. Well, and I mean, like, we had a conversation at work the other day about, like, physical copies. Like, when was the last time you bought a physical copy of a game?
It was what was that game that was like, it was like a military game where, like, there was a section of the city that was, like, infected. You could go in there and do missions, but, like, you ran around this.
I have no idea what the fuck. Are you thinking about The Division?
The Division 2. That was the last physical copy I bought. I bought that for PC. I bought it because it was on sale for $10. It was a physical copy of The Division 2, and I bought it for PC.
I wouldn't even be able to do anything with a physical copy for my PC because I don't even have a disc drive.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
optical drives are not a thing anymore.
Yeah, it's nutty. It's and like I remember whenever they came out, I was like, or when everybody started moving to, like, streaming and, like, cloud stuff, and I was like, no, man, I'm always gonna want a fucking physical copy.
Fuck
because
that.
I just want a physical copy. And, like, here we are, all these years later. I'm like, all right. And I mean, that's important to be able to do as a person. To be able to, like, look back and go, hey, you know what? I was fucking wrong.
Yep. The only reason I got the physical copy was because at the time, yet another time in the bell curve of my life where I either have money or I don't. Same. Yeah, the endless waveform that is, oh, I've got more money than I know what to do with. I'm broke. During that time, like, I knew we were gonna get into The Division 2, and I was like, man, on Steam it's so expensive. It would take me like an entire day to download because the internet at my house sucks. Like, like that kind of thing. I went to Walmart and I found a physical copy, and it was on sale for $10. And I was like,
which
fuck
is amazing.
Yeah. I was like, fuck yeah, let's go. And it was great. Like, I was like, okay, that'll work. And I just popped the CD into my fucking optical drive, which, yes, that's the same PC I'm running on right now. Like that, like, I popped it into my optical drive, and I installed it, and I was like, let's go, guys. Let's go, girls. Dun, 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 dun. And
Yeah,
we played that game for 5 minutes.
I don't know. Like people still talk about it fondly though. People are like, oh, maybe we'll go back to the Division. I'm like, okay,
No.
well, let me know if something happens and I'll do that. But
I
like,
have no desire to go back to that game. None.
It's fair.
None at all. Like excuse me. Not that it was a bad game. I'm just like, why though? Like, why go back to it? Why?
I mean, we tend to have a pretty short term, like not.
You seem
not
to
a lot of
really be
games-
dancing around what I'm about to say.
Yeah, I mean, not a lot of games really hold like
Water?
a fixation, and I mean, like part of it is because there's a lot of great games anymore.
I agree, but dude, it gets exhausting. It gets really exhausting when like you're like, it'll go, oh, this new game's coming out. You buy it, and then like a week and a half later, it's gone. And you're like, that was $60.
Yeah.
Like I don't that's why whenever there's a new game that comes out, I go, is this gonna have legs?
Yeah, and I mean that's fair. And that's why I keep falling back on Game Pass, man, because like Game Pass has so many games, and
Oh, you mean the Gang Beast emulator?
no one needs to go all in on anything. Now I mean again we've been dumpster diving as of late too. I mean Overwatch has been free. 7 Days to Die has been out for fucking 12 years, so it's super cheap.
Dude, Overwatch is so much fun.
It really is.
It's so much fun. What a great game.
I typically am not a first-person shooter guy. I enjoy Halo like in a living room with people. I think it's tougher to enjoy like across internet waves. But like first-person shooters are not my thing necessarily. But like there's something about Overwatch, man, that I just I think it's because every character plays so different.
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
like if you're not having a good
agreed.
experience, if you're not having a good experience with X, try Y. If you're not having a good experience with Y, try H. And I mean like there's just so much that you can do, and man.
I really enjoy that game because when it runs well for me, which not sitting here saying it runs like shit, but like my point stands. Like whenever it runs well, I enjoy the hell out of that game. I have so much fun, especially like the team dynamic and like I don't know. There's just something about it that feels good. And I like games that feel good. Like I really like that. I like games that when you play them, they are an enjoyable experience, not just from like a like talking to your friends or like social standpoint, but like the actual game feels good.
Right. It's even better whenever like you can have a good social situation, and also like it's a good game.
Bingo. Right. And I think like there's not, what games would you say do that? I would argue Overwatch, and I would argue Stardew Valley.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean Stardew's super chill. It's super like it's it's nice to have like Stardew as a fallback, because like when we get chewed up in Overwatch and it's like, well, that sucked. Like having Stardew to come back and be like, all right, this is all right. It gets you to feeling better.
It's a quote unquote, if I may use the term, it's a safe space of a game.
It's a palate cleanser, if you will.
Palate cleanse. That's better. I like that. Palate cleanser is a much better term. Because it's just always fun. And I keep waiting for the next iteration of that game. I keep waiting for it, man.
Rolling. The Haunted Chocolatier.
The what?
The Haunted Chocolatier.
Listen, are you having a stroke? Like,
No, that's the name of the next game.
the Haunted Chocolatier?
Yeah, that Concerned Ape is doing. It's the Haunted Chocolatier.
Excuse me, I must consult Steam.
It's not out yet.
I know, but like the Haunted Chocolate, the Haunted Chocolatier.
Speaking of haunted, Ransom's still in channel. I don't know if he can hear us. I don't know if he can't hear us. He might just be a ghost
I
here.
can hear you. Can you hear me?
There you
Yes.
are. You're just very quiet.
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Well, he was just being very polite then. Never mind.
Yeah. I mean, he
Good
is
boy, Ransom.
he is a polite boy. Well, see, I thought there was at least a preview on Steam or something like that. I don't know.
No, nothing yet.
You know what game I would like to try with the dudes, or even the P3, if we could make it work somehow?
What game, Poot?
Phasmophobia.
That, yeah, I could see that being a fun time.
I would love to do that. Or Dread Hunger. Dread Hunger would be another good one.
I don't know what Dread Hunger is.
Look it up. I'm not going to sit here and tell you all about it. Just
You
look it up.
up.
I did. It's on my fucking wish list, you putz.
Ghostbusters.
Wear a jacket.
You wear a jacket. Ghostbusters is one of those games, Poot, where like I bought it and I'm like, yeah, Ghostbusters, and then like 2 weeks later it was gone. And like inexplicably, it was a lot of fun. It seemed pretty well balanced. Like, yeah, some of us were pretty good at the game to where it was frustrating, but I that's never stopped us before.
Were you one of them?
No.
Oh.
No, Zane was really fucking good.
Oh.
And I was like, well, okay. So, and I mean Sean, but I mean Sean's just good at video games.
Yeah, I mean that's a foregone conclusion.
That's why I'm naming all of my streams now Beef is bad at video games, because I'm bad at video games, and that's okay. And I accept this.
I don't
I'm
think
here
you're
for
bad at video games. I don't think you're bad at video games.
I think you're
don't.
wrong.
No, I'm not wrong. But anyway, go on.
No, I just because I just but yeah, I mean that's all I'm saying is that like I Phasmophobia could be fun, but like yeah, I mean Ghostbusters, like what happened with that? I don't know, and like it got new content and shit. And no one brought it up, and again like right now we are on a pacing with Overwatch and 7 Days to Die, 2 games that are, and I mean so I think that's probably what it is that like it's not that Ghostbusters was bad. I just think that Overwatch and 7 Days to Die we're having more fun with.
Mm-hmm.
Ergo, it's gone to the top of the pile.
Right.
And like that frustrates some people. Like another Haas doesn't always have a great time at Overwatch.
Really?
And yeah, and so he's been like skipping out and doing like work until we start 7 Days to Die. Zach is kind of the opposite, where like he doesn't do 7 Days to Die at all. Like he can't see the forest from the trees. He can't stop to have fun because he hates everything about it. And
I mean,
but he loves Overwatch, so it's like it's about finding a medium spot,
Well, I mean, I get it. I get why. Like honestly, whenever it was like, oh yeah, let's do 7 Days to Die, my initial reaction personally was, okay. I went. It's like Minecraft finally kind of like went back into its hidey hole for a little bit, and I was like, great, we're gonna be able to get on to something this, and then someone went 7 Days to Die, and I went, oh, okay, cool. It's like I said, it's like Minecraft with extra steps. But
yeah,
I was like, but see, I think it goes back to the thing where I'm like, I'm not a Lego kid, so like I have no like big tie or desire for this build a thing, and now what?
Honestly,
I had a good
like,
time. I had a good time playing with the dudes, and I had a good time playing with you on Xbox. But like, I went, okay, now what?
I mean, so like, 7 Days to Die is more of like tower defense, I think. It's just like as opposed to like a constant struggle, you're just like doing it every 7 days. I get it, and like I said, man, like, you know, survival types are not for everybody. That's not. But I mean, like, that's like that is honestly what rings my bell. And so like, and like I've had those nights where I'm like, all right, I'm on board for, you know, doing what, because I mean, honestly, some nights I don't want to do Stardew. Like, I love Stardew, but like, you get to a point in a file and it's like, all right, well, I've done everything I want to do. Now what?
Yeah,
like,
you've optimized it. Now what?
Right. Like, how am I supposed to spend the next 3 hours like trying to? And I mean, like, I love Stardew, but like, you know, it gets to the point where it's like, all right, time to start a new file. Like, even if you're not like millionaires, and even if you don't have fucking return scepters and shit like that, like sometimes it's just I don't know, man.
It
like,
doesn't.
So like, I get it.
Yeah, but like I think for me, so much of my gaming has become like my buddy Mike was over today, and he looked at my game library and he was like, he looked at me and he was like, fuck, you have a lot of roguelites. And I was like, it's not because I go, yeah, roguelite or roguelikes until I die. Like, you know, it's like, oh yeah, it's my favorite game type. It's because those games are really easy to like pick up and play for 20 minutes and be fulfilled. And if you have the time, you can sit down and play them for 5 hours and feel just as fulfilled. Like, they're games that are popcorn games. They're easy to do
absolutely.
that with. And I like that because I still get to game. I still get to hang on to that. Like, yes, I love video games and I'm playing them. But I don't have to go, okay, this game is going to eat per day 3 hours of my life. You know what I mean? Like, like that's why I bought Red Dead Redemption 2 when it was on sale, and I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to play Red Dead Redemption 2. I had it downloaded on my computer forever. And then I just went, nah, I'm going to uninstall that because I'm not going to get to it right now. But I have it. Like, I mean, if I ever do go, you know what, I want a bigger adventure, like, I can do it.
Well, and like analysis by paralysis too, or paralysis by analysis. Like, you know, like sometimes it's tough to say I want to get into a new game, whereas like you can get into a game that you know you love, and you know you may not get the most fucking time ever out of it, but like you might you know you're probably gonna have more fun playing that old game than you would the new game. And
yeah,
Ransom Salmon Coke. You heard on the P3 Breaking Kayfabe first. Ransom Salmon Coke.
Ransom Salmon Coke and rum.
I brought my own.
Brought his own.
I brought my own. It's in my bag.
That's surprised me.
Flight bag.
Blah, 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 blah. He says it loud. They go, sir, would you like some alcohol for that? He goes, no, I brought my own. Just as loud as he can. That's fucking awesome.
I brought Dr. Teskey water.
Dr. Teskey water. Now, okay, Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure that like I'm pretty sure that like if TSA like pulled me aside and made us miss our flight for having a fucking open thing of baby powder, I'm pretty sure he could get rum on that plane.
I don't know, man. A ransom on whiskey is mighty risky.
Oh, it was a sealed container. It was a sealed container, so they were fine with it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, did you buy it at the duty-free store? I had duty.
No,
I might have done.
Oh no, you are a sucker. No.
Dude, the greatest thing in the world when I went to Ireland in college, I was smoking cigarettes on the regular back
Bragging.
then. Yeah, I'm bragging a little bit. I'm not even gonna lie. When we were in JFK, the only people in band who smoked cigarettes were me and another trumpet player named Ryan. And we went to the duty-free store because we're like, yo, we need to buy cigarettes for when we're over there so that we don't have to like go like hunt down cigarettes or whatever. And so we bought a carton. We went in together and we bought a carton of Camels, but the carton wasn't the long box carton. The carton of cigarettes was put in a giant cigarette pack. So it was like a cartoonishly large pack of cigarettes holding many small packs of cigarettes. It was the best packaging ever. I was like, can I just buy 900 of these, please? I'm just going to buy all these now. Thanks. Bye. Like, it was glorious. It was absolutely glorious.
You guys are already making me super excited. It's been 2 years since we've flown and 5 years since we've flown internationally. So as long as we get our fucking passports back in time, I can't wait to go on vacation in May to go back to Mexico.
We're making it. Why are you gonna buy a carton of cigarettes from Mexico?
No, just like flying. You know, like
beef driving through the ocean.
driving in the sky. You know.
Also, how's let's just do a wellness check. Ransom, how are you and the boy doing?
He gone.
Oh, he gone.
Oh, he back.
Oh, okay.
He back.
Ransom, how are you and the boy doing? You just hear, bam.
Everything's fine.
Okay, good. I'll take that.
I think I'm shocked that it's holding up this well for this long.
Me too. Like, it's good, but it ain't live stream. Or it ain't.
I mean, it's no, you know,
It's good,
from the
great.
it's no from the parking lot in front of the beef cave, but you know, it's close.
Yeah, you know, listen, I hold that as a snapshot in history, buddy. That was a snap. That was honestly, I sat out there. I had my little 6-pack of beer. I had my you know, I had the warmth of my car. I was good. Everything was fine. And we had proper sound balance. Whether the quality was good, that's up for debate. But, you know, it worked. Speaking of things working, on that note, I think we're at 2 hours and 6 minutes. We canceled the podcast tonight, by the way, folks. I think this is going to be a really good.
Make sure you put this in the drive so I can edit it.
I absolutely will. You better believe I will. I'm gonna say we call this one a Breaking Kayfabe. This was a good one, guys. I like this. I like this a lot. This was a lot of fun.
I'm glad I stopped in.
Yeah, I'm glad you
stopped in and
too.
got some smiles.
Yeah, man, absolutely. All right, folks, thank you for listening to the P3 podcast, Breaking Kayfabe. You know, make sure to go back and listen to our other episodes. We'll be back with our regular programming next week. From Ransom in the Sky, Beef on the Ground, and me on the floor. Thanks, everybody. Bye.